Hello and welcome to this Power Breakfast sponsored by the Collective Empowerment Group. My name is Dr. Bobby Manning. I'm blessed to be the president of this organization called the Collective Empowerment Group, which for 25 years has been serving the DMV with collective strength for economic empowerment. We are a group of churches and businesses and banks that bring our power together so that everybody in our community can have access to the resources that are available to us for economic empowerment. If you'd like more information about the Collective Empowerment Group, we invite you to our website, which is www.empowerdmv.org. Today's Power Breakfast is talking about available resources that will help you to save money and avoid service interruption in this time of pandemic where so many of us have hit hard times financially. I'm so excited about the panel that we have. And so I encourage you, if you're on Facebook right now, if you're on YouTube, make sure you click that share button because somebody that you know needs the information that we'll be able to share today. Let me hurry up and rush to introduce this incredible panel that we have assembled together today. First, we have Mr. Alberto Zegada. Alberto is a senior community relations specialist with PEPCO Exelon, who works in the office of the customer advocate. He serves through PEPCO Exelon, making sure that people have those resources, but that's what he does in his day job. He's also a teen pastor at his church, which is Ecclesia USA in Reston, Virginia. And so he's, of course, welcome with us. And thank you so much for joining us for this Power Breakfast, Alberto.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Next, we have Ms. Adeyinka Ogunlean. Adeyinka is the Senior Manager of Government and Regulatory Affairs for Comcast Xfinity. Yes, she's the person who give us information about your cable bill and your internet, your triple play. Adeyinka brings her passion for politics and community engagement to her role at Comcast to ensure that programs are available for the community. Adeyinka graduated from Georgetown University with a Bachelor of Arts in Government and received her Juris Doctorate from Howard University School of Law. And she also is a children's ministry leader at her church, Redeemed Christian Church of God. Adeyinka, thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. And then last but not least, we have Ms. Jessica Quincosa, who is the Director of Community and Legal Services of Prince George's County. She received her Juris Doctorate as well. We got these lawyers on here. We're official here. She received her Juris Doctorate from New England Law in Boston and has a decorated law career, which includes being a supervising attorney for Maryland Legal Aid. Jessica, thank you so much for lending us your time today.
Thank you for including CLS and me in this program.
It is our absolute pleasure, and we're excited for you to inform us, all of our churches and all of our businesses and all of our church members on these vital times. Folks, this pandemic is several months long now. So many people have hit difficulties financially. So many people have been struggling, and there has been some relief from the government, but also I know from each of your perspectives, there are also programs and relief for the folks in our communities. And I want to spend our time today really talking about what those opportunities are that many people may not even know about. And you're going to kind of expose some of those opportunities to us. And we thank you for that. We also know that although we are still in the thick of this pandemic, some of the federal protections against shutoffs and evictions and foreclosures are beginning to be lifted. And so we want to be mindful of the fact that, okay, some people are going to get hit a little bit harder over the next couple of months. They're going to start receiving some of these notices in the mail that might be that will be scary for them. And so I'm going to just begin by asking this question to all three of you. We'll go around the horn. As these restrictions on foreclosures and evictions and service connections slowly lift across the nation, what brief message do you want to get to your customers, to your constituents who have fallen upon hard times in the pandemic? Jessica, can I begin with you?
Sure. So one of the things I really want to emphasize is it's really important to reach out to either a legal services provider or an attorney to really discuss your options at this point. There's a few different moratoriums available. They're not automatic anymore as they were until July 25th. Reaching out early, reaching out with a reliable source is really important. There is funding available for renters and for folks in foreclosure. Waiting is really not an option at this point.
Absolutely. I want to move and run to Adeyinka, but before I do, can I ask a follow-up question? Of course,
Sure.
Somebody may hear what you say, like, you know what, reach out to an attorney, reach out to some legal assistance. And their response may be, man, I'm in this difficulty because I don't have any money. I certainly don't have money for an attorney. What would you say in response to somebody who has that concern?
So there's a lot of reputable legal services providers that are available to help. There's Community Legal Services is a free service provider. Our services are free to our to the clients that we assist. There's also the SelfHelp Center through the district court and the circuit court in the courthouses and available remotely. Most of the officers are right now available remotely, but there's also Maryland Legal Aid. There's a lot of different legal services providers, and it's our job to assist folks that have fallen on hard times. And that's why we're here and we're working our way to try to help as many people as we can with our limited resources.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that service to the community, and we'll make sure before we get out of here that people know how to reach out and contact you for those types of services. Adeyinka, what's a message that you want to get to your customers and constituents?
I would actually echo what Jessica said. Reach out, give us a call, let us know that your financial situation has changed. I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to be here, because since the pandemic hit, we've been doing our part as a company to make sure that our customers can remain connected to what matters to them most, as most of us are forced to work from home, learn from home, and maybe even celebrate the holidays from home. But people's financial situations have changed. So whether it's repackaging your services, finding out what works best for you given your new financial situation, or setting up a payment plan, reach out early. Don't wait. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Great advice. Mr. Zegada, what are your thoughts from PEPCO's perspective?
Well, at PEPCO, we understand that our customers and communities have been significantly affected by this pandemic. Also, that's why ahead of any state directive, we've suspended service disconnections and late fees, and we've also reconnected customers who were without service prior to the pandemic wherever it was safe to do so. We're completely committed to helping every customer through these difficult times. We remain committed to delivering safe and reliable energy service for our customers, and to help them establish payment arrangements and secure company and community assistance wherever possible to keep the lights on. I want to echo what the previous two panelists said, and I think that the best thing that you can do is we want to encourage our customers that may be having trouble paying their energy bills to visit pepco.com/help, or call us, our customer service line at 202-833-7500.
Yeah, I think so many people are used to the bill collecting transaction being adversarial. And I think that's one of the maybe a misnomer or maybe a concern that people may have is, if I call, all they're going to do is push me about paying the bill. And what I'm hearing from each of you is that perception should not prevent us from, hey, just give us a call. Hey, go ahead and call customer service. Go ahead and let somebody know that this is the circumstance that's going on. And at least as it pertains to PEPCO and Comcast, what I'm hearing from you all is, hey, we're not going to turn that into an adversarial transaction. We are in position and prepared to work with you if you have if you receive one of those notices. Am I correct in that assumption?
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Similar to what Alberto said, we've been working with our customers since the beginning of the pandemic. Of course, adhering to the moratoriums about shutoffs and disconnections and late fees. but definitely making sure that our customers are aware of other ways to keep their bills low, to handle any outstanding balances, to come up with a flexible payment arrangement, or extended payment options. We don't want to have to turn anyone's service off, especially during this critical time. So it does require us working together and knowing that a customer's financial situation has changed. And that does require them calling in to let us know.
Absolutely. And I was planning to hold this for later, but it's worth saying early and often that the worst thing you can do is ignore the notices and not call and wait until something happens. The best thing you can do is to get out in front of it and go ahead and give your service provider a call and let them know what's going on, because a disruption in service is not what anybody wants, including the service provider. I want to come back to you, Jessica, in your role with Community Legal Services. Surely you can't give everybody legal advice on Facebook right now, but if you could help us out, just kind of in a blanket manner, somebody receives an eviction notice or a foreclosure in the mail, and there, of course, they have concern. It's scary. What is their first step?
So let's talk about they receive an eviction notice. Usually what happens is you receive a notice from the court that you have a hearing coming up. It's really important to figure out what is the basis for what they're suing you for? Is it for failing to pay rent? Is it a tenant holding over, breach of lease? That's why it's important to talk to an attorney early in advance. If it's a failure to pay rent, you'll have your hearing, and then there's different moratoriums that you could use as a defense at this point. Tenant holding over is a little harder to have a defense, but there may still be some options available to you. When you talk to a legal services provider or an attorney, we're all well aware of the fact that a lot of folks that are seeing themselves in this situation right now have never been in court, have never been in a rental situation, or have been behind on their rent or mortgage. So we're conscious of that, and we're all working together, not just as a legal services organization, but collectively. A bunch of the legal services organizations are working together to come up with different defenses, and there's different rental assistance programs that we work with or will refer you to receive assistance. So it's always important to reach out as soon as you get that notice. You don't want to call us the night before because we may not be available to represent you, or our attorney may have other cases that day. Pre-COVID, we only provided same-day representation to tenants in failure to pay rent hearings. Unfortunately, due to the social distancing and some concerns with the courthouse, we're doing a little hybrid of same-day representation. And if the tenant calls us ahead of time, we will also usually do an intake if they qualify for our services. The reason why we're having tenants call us ahead of time is for some of the moratoriums, like Governor Hogan's moratorium, we actually need you to have some sort of evidence as to your salary or your financial situation and how it's been impacted by COVID, so we can present that information to the judges. So it's always a good idea to call it in advance to get some ideas of what would be helpful, what would be reasonable to present to a judge as to how you've been impacted. And then also to find out the rest of the policy. Right now, evictions are occurring. There are legal evictions occurring every day. If you're a tenant and you don't come in and raise the moratorium, either the CDC Declaration is filed with your landlord, or you raise the Hogan administration moratorium or any other defenses you possibly have, a judgment could be entered against you and it could be executed and you could be evicted. And also in the other cases, they're also proceeding. What's going to happen now that we're going backwards and COVID restrictions are impacting the courts? I'm not really sure. As of December 31st, the CDC Declaration expires. So any of the cases that are entered using that as a defense theoretically could be entered against the tenant, and those judgments executed after the 31st of December.
Absolutely. And so I hear you saying that that it's always better to have an attorney with you to represent you, because the attorney knows how to handle these certain situations. We got two attorneys on with us, and I'm an honorary attorney because I watch law shows all the time. And so and one thing I hear on all of my law shows is that the person who represents themselves has a fool for a client. Is the idea of, hey, if you understanding that eviction is a court proceeding, And if you have an attorney, you are on a better foundation than going in and trying to represent yourself. Am I right there, Jessica?
Correct. And, all of our resources are very limited right now. There's a lot of folks in eviction proceedings. So even if one of the legal services providers or you can't afford an attorney, there's different self-help centers that can at least try to give you an idea of what would work in your case. And they advise not only landlords, but they also advise tenants, and it's a free service and it's through the courthouse, and it'll be on your failure to pay rent notice. It'll say, please contact the self-help center, and the number's there, and they're attorneys from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. that are available to answer your calls or live chats.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
sending our eyes back to the notices, knowing what we need to do as we deal with this. And somebody may be dealing with something like that. I want to come really quickly to Ms. Adeyinka and really talk about our Comcast and our Comcast Xfinity experiences. And I want to begin because I'm aware of a program that you all have, but I don't know how many people are. You know this, that so many of us have been affected by COVID-19, and it's pushed us and caused us to shift to a virtual world. Everything from school, work, even church services have shifted online. My question to you is, what is Comcast doing to make sure that people remain connected, to make sure that people have a good enough connection so that their work or their school or their church their experience is not interrupted? Give us Comcast efforts in that sense.
Sure, absolutely. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we've been doing our part to make sure that our customers can remain connected. We've done that in a number of ways. One of the first being opening up our public Wi-Fi hotspots that are located in business areas and outdoors to make sure that those are available to non-Comcast subscribers for free. And that's through the end of the year. So you can connect to our Wi-Fi network. We have one of the largest networks, well, actually the largest Wi-Fi network in the country. But that's 1.5 million hotspots. So no matter where you are, Xfinity Wi-Fi should be available to you, and you can connect to that for free through the end of the year. We also, to our customers, paused data plans initially to make sure that people were not hitting their data threshold, as we were all scrambling to get on the internet in March and April, to work from home, to school from home, to worship from home. We paused those data caps as well to make sure that folks had the access that they needed and that they could do so without being worried about hitting a data cap. In addition to adhering to the moratorium and not disconnecting folks or imposing late fees, we've been working with our customers, as I said, to make sure that they're in the right package, that they have what works for their budget, even if they've had to adjust through a change in their financial circumstances. But I think what you were referring to in your question initially about the program that we have, it's really targeted towards a specific audience, and that's our Internet Essentials program. It's really focused on making sure that low-income families have that opportunity to connect to the internet at home. That program has been in existence since 2011, but we made a number of enhancements to it at the start of the pandemic, I should say, to broaden that access.
Excellent. So I want to dig in a couple of places that you mentioned just now. First, I think it's a huge thing for you all, and thank you for this in regards to the caps on our internet. All of us have maybe felt the pressure of, oh no, have I used up all of the data, whether it's on my phone or whether it's on my home internet service. And of course, when many of us chose the package that we chose, we didn't choose it with COVID in mind. We didn't think that our kids would be in school for 7 hours a day straight on Zoom, or we'd be taking meetings from home rather than going into the office, or each week we'd be, for those of us who are in worship experiences across our area, didn't think, hey, all of my church engagement involvement is going to be online now. And so that's huge. Can you talk just really quickly, just a little bit more just about the removing of the cap and how that has worked for you all, and how long that program you think will continue?
Well, the removal of the cap was initially at the outset of the pandemic, but back in July, we did raise the threshold to 1.2 terabytes, which is a huge amount of data for anyone to consume on their own. So the cap does exist. It's just that we recognize that because we're in this new virtual experience, it had needed to be lifted at the outset. But it is back, and we did raise the limit to 1.2 terabytes a month. Customers do also have the option, if they want unlimited data at home, they have that as well, that they can add to their services. But as I said, it's really recognizing that we need to do our part to keep customers connected, whether they're existing customers or those, as I mentioned, through the Internet Essentials program. This might be their first time really needing the internet at home. And what does that mean for them? And I really appreciate the partnership that we have with the Collective Empowerment Group to make sure that folks know about not only our products and services, but about vital programs like Internet Essentials.
Absolutely. And that's where I want to go back to is Internet Essentials. And so give us some information because from what I understand, Internet Essentials is for folks who do not have service, who are maybe first-time customers with Comcast, and to make sure that nobody is missing school because they don't have connection. Nobody is missing out on important work meetings because they have to be home with their kids, but still have to be in work. Talk to us about the heart behind Internet Essentials and how to onboard there if somebody's in need.
Absolutely. So as I said, Internet Essentials started in 2011. It's essentially our signature community impact initiative to make sure that we play a role in bridging the digital divide. So for low-income families and individuals who do not have connectivity at home, they can apply for the program. They have to be eligible, receiving some form of federal assistance such as SNAP, Social Security, Medicaid. They can apply online or apply over the phone. And once they are enrolled in the program, they get high-speed internet service at home for $9.95 a month. They also get the option to purchase a subsidized laptop computer. So there is addressing the hardware need. And then there's also the piece that I think is the most critical is digital skills training, because we don't want to assume that once someone is connected, they know how to navigate the internet and they know how to do so safely. So they have access to a library of online content. We also used to provide in-person digital literacy training, but of course with COVID, a number of our partners are no longer providing that resource, but we do have a whole online library for folks to learn how to navigate the internet, how to do so safely, how to interact with social media and all of that. At the start of the pandemic, we made 2 months of Internet Essentials free for new customers who were enrolling, recognizing again that there could be a change in someone's financial situation. So they would be a new Internet Essentials customer and they were able to get 2 months of free service. That offer is still available through the end of 2020. So if you know someone in your community or in your congregation who for some reason is still not connected, but would otherwise qualify for Internet Essentials, please encourage them to sign up, to pick up the phone and call. I know that you guys have shared the flyer and made that information available, but we want to make sure that we get as many people connected as possible during this critical time.
Absolutely. And so if there's somebody who is thinking right now, man, I need that program, or I know someone who needs that program, you can go to our website, empowerdmv.org. That information is available under the resources tab so that you can sign up, so you can reach out to Comcast and make sure that you get online. If you've been trusting your cell phone data plan to be in school or to be at work, you don't have to do that. That data plan is going to be limited, and Comcast can help. So if you go to our website, empowerdmv.org, you'll be able to get the information about Comcast's Internet Essentials program. Thank you so much, Adeyinka. Mr. Zegada, I'm coming to you. I know you've been waiting for me to come to you. And let's talk about PEPCO. And I know the folks who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook have been waiting for me to come to you as well, because the big question is, how do I make sure that that I'm in a good relationship with my energy provider? Let me start with surely your call center has been hopefully overrun with calls on, hey, since the pandemic, people have been in their homes more, they've been consuming energy more, they've been using their lights more, et cetera, et cetera. What is the most frequently asked questions that customers have been asking about their energy bill over the last couple of months?
So typically, the most frequently asked questions that we get revolve around payment arrangements. People want to know what has changed. What are we offering? And Dr. Manning, I want to let everyone know that PEPCO really values the relationships that we have and that we continue to maintain with our community partners. In Prince George's County in particular, we partner very well with the Department of Social Services. And in Montgomery County, we partner with the Department of Health and Human Services. Those two departments, those two county departments, they handle Maryland energy assistance programs. We speak with them on a weekly basis, and we want to be able to let our customers know that that they can come to us, and then we will assist them, letting them know what steps they need to take, who they need to contact to apply for energy assistance. There are various energy assistance programs that are available for our Maryland customers. And I also want to take an opportunity to let the customers know that we do have, and we're entering our final year of our PEPCO Salvation Army Washington Area Fuel Fund program. This is an excellent program. It's just been refunded. So there's over $500,000 available for both counties, and it's on a first come, first served basis. And it's a credit where we'll give you up to $1,000 towards your bill. So you can Google the Salvation Army for Prince George's County or Montgomery County, and I can provide that information when we wrap up those telephone numbers so that our customers that can be in the know. The other thing that I want to let everyone know is that with the PEPCO Salvation Army Washington Area Fuel Fund, they don't necessarily ask for Social Security information. So that's something that, that can help out, maybe our undocumented customers. The other programs, with the Maryland Energy Assistance, those are income-based. But you can always go to pepco.com/energy assistance, and we'll give you all of the information that's available. We want all of our customers to know that disconnection is our absolute last resort. We don't want to disconnect anybody. We are willing to work and give favorable payment arrangements for any and all of our customers. So sometimes you might have a customer that'll say, you know what, I just owe so much money, I don't even want to call. Don't think like that. We are ready to work with you with whatever your budget is. We also understand that we may have many customers that they've never had to ask for assistance, but now they're in a position where they do. You may not even be unemployed. You may be underemployed. We want to hear from you. Anybody that's struggling in any capacity, please contact us at 202-833-7500. We are ready, willing, and able to help out.
Absolutely. We appreciate your willingness to help out with both with programs, but also with individual, just working with your customers on an individual basis. What are some suggestions that you may have, maybe something that you practice in your own home, where as seasons change, what are some suggestions that you have to keep our energy consumption and by proxy our bill
Sure.
low over the next few months?
Excellent question. This is one. This is the way I would recommend to your congregants. When you look at your home, when you look at your energy bill, think of your home having different types of appliances, right? The bigger the appliance, the bigger the consumption of electricity is going to be. So the first thing that we want to look at is I want to admit I had my air conditioning on for the past couple of days, right? But as we go into the winter time, we typically set our temperature at 68 degrees. Now, 68 degrees, someone might say, well, you know what, that's way too cold for me. And you know what, it may be. If you're used to 75 degrees and all of a sudden you go down to 68, you're going to feel it. But what I recommend is every 3 days, turn it down 1 degree. Give your body some time to acclimate to 1 degree of difference. And I guarantee you in 3 days, you're not going to feel that 1 degree. After 3 days, turn down another degree. And keep on doing that until you hit 68. When you get to 68 degrees, that's the optimal temperature for the wintertime. The other thing that we also recommend is, go online. Pretty much everyone in our service territory has a smart meter. With your smart meter, you can check to see your consumption, see how much you're using, and you can check, by month, by week, by day, down to the hour. And this information is updated on a daily basis. So you can see right now, if you had, your online account with us, you can see how much you consumed yesterday up until midnight. And that information is really helpful because it can show you where you're consuming too much electricity, and you can make smart choices and smart decisions to curtail a higher energy and monthly bill.
So you said, so many of us have smart meters, and I know because somebody from PEPCO showed me that you can see all of this in the app. And so if you go into get your PEPCO app, you can put your information in, you get your online account, and you can, on a day-by-day basis, is what you're saying, take a look at how much energy you're consuming, and you can say, well, wait a minute, we consumed too much energy yesterday. We need to see what's going on. So that information is available at the tip of your fingers, is basically what you're saying to us, Alberto.
And it's free of charge. Yes.
Wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, man, I'm having such a good time. I'm losing track of time here. Let me bring it back together here and just ask each of you, if you don't mind. First of all, thank you so much for being with us and lending us your expertise and helping us along the way. So many of our members and constituents need this information, and I'm grateful for it. Could you wrap it up? So just give us a minute of your closing thoughts based on everything we've discussed today. If you could just kind of wrap it up, what are some final thoughts that we need to take home so that we can be better prepared for the months to come as the pandemic, as hopefully we come up and out of this pandemic? Adeyinka, I'm gonna come to you first.
Sure. First of all, thanks again for the opportunity to be here and for the partnership with the Collective Empowerment Group. I think I would close by saying, one, that these partnerships, like the one that we have with your organization, they're vital to getting the word out to our customers about the need to reach out should their financial circumstances change, or even if they just have questions about their bill, understanding their billing statement, understanding what packages or services they are currently subscribed to, and if they need to adjust. Give us a call at 1-800-Xfinity. You can also check those things in our apps as well. But that communication needs to go both ways, and we want to hear from them if their circumstances have changed, but also that there are resources available, whether it's adjusting the payment plan or enrolling in a program like Internet Essentials, that we are partners in making sure that they stay connected during this vital time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Alberto, your closing thoughts.
Yes, first of all, thank you once again for having us on here. It's a blessing for us to be able to reach out to all of your congregants. I just want to give out a couple of important contact numbers. For Maryland customers, call the Office of Home Energy Programs at 800-332-6347 or visit dhr.maryland.gov/OHEP, OHEP. For more information about energy assistance programs, visit us at pepco.com/energy assistance or pepco.com/help. For additional information about payment options and ways you can save on your energy bills, you can visit pepco.com or call us at 202-833-7500. Thank you once again, Doctor.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And all of that information will continue to be available. You can press rewind, or you can go to our website to make sure that you get all of that information. All right. Last but not least, Jessica.
Thank you so much for including community legal services and for giving me this opportunity. I want to really emphasize that we all understand this at difficult times. We're here to assist you. I think reaching out is really important. There's different options available to everyone. They can reach out to us. We also assist in English and Spanish. Most of my staff are native or fluent Spanish speakers. We don't share our information with anyone else. We're not going to share it with the congregation. So you can talk to us from your home on the phone, and we'll do our best to assist you. Our number is 240-391-6370. And the best way to reach us right now, specifically because everybody's working remotely, is emailing at info@clspgc.org. And we look forward to hearing from anyone. And if there's anything that we can do to assist you, please let us know. And to stay to date on everything that's changing. It changes, and I've said I don't know for different legal things on numerous occasions. So it's not anything to be embarrassed about if you have to call a few times, because things change on what feels like day-to-day basis.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your service. If I could wrap up with a final thought, it would be this. In the Bible, in Luke chapter 16, Jesus tells a parable about a shrewd manager. Now, there's a lot of confusion and different dialogue about what this parable is really about, but there is one thing that's clear in the parable that I encourage you to read it when you can, is that the shrewd manager settled debts by communicating across the table. The worst thing you can do is stay silent. If there is a debt, it can be settled, but it can only be settled by communication. And so I want to encourage everybody to remember that if you've hit hard times, you are not alone. You are not the only one. There are people who are all over the world have been hit with hard times because of this global pandemic. The worst thing you can do is stay silent and to yourself. So pick up the phone, give a call to legal aid, give a call to your service provider. It's not in the Bible, but my grandmama said it all the time. A closed mouth does not get fed. And so I want to encourage you that a shrewd manager, a shrewd financial manager is somebody who keeps communication lines open and is able to settle debts in an amicable way. And we've already seen that not only Comcast and PEPCO, but there are all types of service providers who would be willing to have the conversation with you and work with you if you've come across hard times. I want to say thank you once again to this wonderful panel and all of these panelists for joining us for this Power Breakfast with the Collective Empowerment Group. Once again, I want to remind you, maybe you didn't need this information, but somebody that you know does. And so please click the share button, forward the email, forward the link so that others might benefit from this vital information that's been shared today. And then I want to point all of you for further information and more resources to our website, www.empowerdmv.org, for more information about what we've talked about today and for more power breakfasts like this. And if you are a local business or if you are a local church that would like to become a member of the Collective Empowerment Group, we would love for you to be a part of our organization that brings our collective strength together for economic empowerment. We look forward to seeing you again very soon at our next Power Breakfast. In December, we're celebrating 25 years, our 25th anniversary as an organization, and we can't wait to share that with you. So please stay tuned. Join us on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you click like and share. And we look forward to seeing you next time with the Collective Empowerment Group. God bless you. We'll see you soon.